Hey guys, here we are, our second section. It's great to have you back. It was fun to see you all today on your work study. That was fun. Great. I think it's neat how they're doing that with just making sure you're presenting yourself in a very professional way. It was fun to see you taking that to heart. So well done. All right, I'm going to highlight a couple things here before I get into kind of what we're going to do over the next 2 weeks in this session that I get to talk with you. But I want to make sure that you are joining your Google Classroom for ACT Prep Math and Science and English and Reading. I do know that Miss Kim and Mr. Ron have sent out their Google Classroom invites. I want to make sure that you have done that and that you are following along. I do know Miss Kim posted her video for your lecture today. I hope you've had a chance to look at that. I want to highlight Mr. Ron at this point has not posted his videos. He had a difficult evening last night, had to go to the emergency room. He did tell me today that he will post those videos, so be looking for them at some point. It could even roll into tomorrow morning by the time they get posted. But just follow along, make the adjustment that you need to. If there's any other additional information that you need to be aware of, clearly we'll let you know that, but be paying attention to that. In your ACT prep work, you do have your big books. If you could make sure, if you write in them, it's not a problem, you didn't do a wrong thing, but if you have to do extensive writing, let's do that on notebook paper, okay? So that you can, we can use those books year to year and they don't get written in. So with your classes this week, you have your recorded videos that you can watch from both class. Then you have some work that they're going to assign to you in the middle of the week. And then your live lecture with Miss Kim will be Thursday. Your live lecture with Mr. Ron will be on Friday. So obviously you'll have access to those books the whole 2 weeks. I would encourage you to do any of the practice work that's in there. Why not? It's available to you, but surely have a great week in those 2 classes, okay? All right, in my time with you, one of the things I want to talk with you about, ACT has done a phenomenal job assessing where you're at academically. One of the things that they noticed is it wasn't a complete assessment of who you are. And there began to be a lot of input to ACT that we need to kind of make our assessment of these kids more diverse. So ACT, in all of their expertise, created this new test that is being given called the ACT Tessera class and assessment. And what it does is it assesses who you are as an individual in regards to what are called your soft skills, your social and emotional learning skills. I'm very excited about this for you because right now, more than ever, we need that. I think it's interesting that potentially the things you're having to learn about your life are setting you up for something that we don't yet know why it's important you're having to learn what you're having to learn now, as far as how to navigate change and a crazy life and things we never predicted. I don't ever think those happen by chance. Something's coming in our future where what you're learning now is preparing you to know how to be great in what is to come. So I want you to take this to heart. We are going to be using this here in Upward Bound. We can give you the test. In fact, we can give it to you multiple times. We're going to talk about it extensively over the next 2 weeks, and I want to introduce you to the idea, the why, the benefits, the questions, all those types of things. Today, I just kind of want to highlight the 5 main words that they are looking to kind of unveil that are inside of you. The first word is the word grit, or potentially your conscientiousness, how your ability to be persistent, goal-oriented, or how you like or dislike challenge. Another word that they will highlight and we will talk about is the idea of teamwork, or your agreeableness. Highlighting ideas such as your ability to be pleasant, cooperative, or sensitive to others. The third word that they will highlight and test you for is resilience, or your emotional stability. Ideas such as being thoughtful, creative, and open-minded are highlighted in that theme. Openness is the fourth word. Kind of a secondary word would be curiosity. How poised are you? How flexible are you? How restrained are you? Very interesting word there. The last thing that they highlight in this assessment is your leadership or your extraversion. Ideas such as expressing yourself freely, cheerful and optimistic, and are you assertive? These are all things that over the next 2 weeks, I promise you, I'm going to stand right here, I'm going to have stuff on the board, and I'm going to hopefully introduce to you the idea of social and emotional learning and how that benefits you, how we will assess that, and how we will build on that in these weeks ahead. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
Ashley just told me I look like a lobster. You are what you eat. Just kidding. I haven't had lobster in quite some time. It's been a while. A long while. It feels in many ways like it's been 10,000 years since the last time we did a daily meeting. I feel like so much life has happened since then. In other ways, it feels like just yesterday. All I know is that next summer at this time, I kind of hope that Summer Academy is over and we just got back from an amazing trip. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So for today, July 13th, daily meeting news. Welcome back. Life the last 2 weeks without you all every single day was a little interesting. I missed you though. I kind of got used to seeing your sweet sunshiny faces each evening. I did get to actually have a little bit of a social life without Summer Academy. I had some friends over for dinner some nights, and that was really nice. But I also missed the accents and the sarcasm and the sass and the belching. Just kidding, Aaliyah. I didn't really miss the belching. But I'm happy to have you all back. So tonight, to kick things off for our evening activities, it is Make Do Monday. Many of you received looms, so I'm assuming you're going to be doing the project. At least I hope you are. It's a 2-week project. We're going to start them tonight. So you should have 2 balls of yarn in your bag, and you need to bring your scissors and your brain and your smile and for sure your loom. And I will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. You should have already gotten that email from me this morning. Speaking of email, 'tis the season to be checking it regularly, multiple times a day. You today have already received 3 emails from me. 1, this video. 2, the link to Make Do Monday Night Zoom. 3, the link for tomorrow's Zoom class, because guess who your teacher is tomorrow? Me. Speaking of that class, in my class, you really do need to be on time. It is a Socratic discussion. And so I need a few things from you. We are going to be talking about serious stuff, more serious stuff next week. We are setting the foundation for that conversation many ways tomorrow, but I must, like work study, I must see your face. Just so you know, none of this like ceiling business. And you also are going to need to take notes. Tomorrow's class, hopefully, is more so just about wisdom. And I hope that that is something that you take with you forever. And I want to know that you're actually listening and paying attention. So even though I don't have a Google Classroom, you will have to, and I'll remind you again of this tomorrow, but tomorrow in class, I want you to take notes. You do not all have to speak, because I know that we will be getting into potentially some sensitive subjects, especially the next week in our Socratic discussion. But I want you to write things that you hear or write down quotes that mean something to you, and to write a 1-page reflection on it after tomorrow and email it to me. And you will have stipend money. Like it will be taken away if you don't do that. That is a homework assignment. But tomorrow I do expect you to be in class on time. If you have band or something else and you can only make it for part of the time, just always let me know ahead of time if you're going to be late or if you have to leave early. When it comes to work study, Joe just finished her work study class. I really loved that. Joe is an incredible woman, and I hope that you learned a lot. I learned a few things listening to her. She has had such an awesome life experience. She also has a lot of wisdom, and something that I love so much about Joe is her willingness to be just authentic to herself and her strengths and her weaknesses and her experience. And so many of you share similar interests and similar passions as Joe, and so I hope that that was encouraging to you. For work study in general, I know Mariah already sent a video saying these things. There is so much money tied to work study, truly. And so when we say be on time, we mean be on time. You're gonna, like, any point deduction is gonna be a huge deduction in money. So you must show your face. None of this like from here up or here over. I don't want to see the ceiling in my class, and for sure in work study. In my class, you're just going to annoy me. But in Mariah's class, you're probably going to annoy Mariah, but you're also going to lose a lot of money just because you didn't show your face. Work study, quite literally, I know it's hard to do it virtually, but it is your job. So you need to come to class, make sure you're coming prepared. You need to look the part, and looking the part, you know, paying attention, not just rolling out of bed. The far, far, far majority of you rocked it today, and it was very noticeable that you were there and you were paying attention and you put a little bit more effort in than normal, and I love that, so thank you. I'm just wanting to make sure that you all know the expectation there is pretty high. It's not just a normal class. And if for any reason you ever have to leave early, or you're going to be late, or there's a hiccup, you need to make sure you're communicating that to Mariah. You probably, hopefully by now, have noticed this, but every single one of you, this whole next 2 weeks, you're all going to be in class together. Which actually makes me happy, because one of the joys of Summer Academy isn't just getting to know people in your grade, but getting to know everybody across all the different schools. And I realize a lot of you are probably not going to talk in class, but it's fun to even just see who's in Upward Bound, because some of you haven't even realized who's doing Summer Academy. So all of you every day at 12:30 for the rest of this week and all of next week. That's it. So if for some reason you haven't paid attention to that, make sure that you're planning your days accordingly. When it comes to work study as well, that's going to be 4 of those days. So today was one of them. You have 3 more work studies left. All of your work study homework, again, and Mariah already said this, is going to be due on Saturday the 25th. Don't procrastinate on that, because we will not take it late, like 0%. So just, you want to put in your best effort, trust me. Another just little reminder, hopefully you still have your faces on sticks, because the Fun Face contest still exists. I've actually already had some entries for this week, and they were so funny that I laughed out loud. So please keep sending them to me. I like to laugh out loud. I look forward to continuing to get to know you all. I really look forward to our evening stuff. I also really look forward to the 2 classes that I get to teach, the one this week and the one next week, because I think that, I don't know, I think what we're going to be talking about is important. And so just know that tomorrow, some of it may be heavy. I hope it challenges every single one of you. The next week, I know for sure will challenge every single one of you. But I need you to come to class tomorrow with a very open mind. Okay? So if you are stubborn, and I'm looking at you, I have a few names in my mind as I'm saying this. I'm not going to say them out loud for everybody to hear, but some of you are wildly stubborn. And some of you, I see some of your posts. I'm just want you to come to class tomorrow with a headspace of grace. Ashley's doing this behind the camera. Anyway, I love you guys. See you tonight to Loom Weave.